Such great insight. Quarterfinal number 4 here in the women's quarterfinals. Elizabeth Hosking out of Canada versus American Maddie Mastro. And again, this format lends itself to that situation of really anything can happen.
And I'm really interested to see what the 8 seed Elizabeth Hosking can do. Is she going to force Maddie Mastro to dig deep into that bag of tricks and make her bring out all of her weapons early?
Yeah, a lot of times these competitors, you know, they want to just put one solid run down and then build upon that. Well, that's not the situation here, because you can't really hold back on these first runs.
Absolutely. So Elizabeth Hosking, our 8 seed, dropping into the pipe. And she's going backside 540 for hit number 1. Into the front side 720. And there is the chicane into the front side 7. Let's see if she can finish strong. Losing a little bit of speed there in the flat bottom, but going for the Pop-Tart. And now, what are you thinking if you're Maddie Mastro after you saw that? Are you digging deep? Are you going double crippler? Are you thinking double court 1080 yet?
It's a toss-up. You know, earlier qualifiers, we didn't expect her to do that double crippler, but sometimes as an athlete, you just want to go for it because it really puts you in the good mindset. Really, only Maddie can make that decision from what her experience has been in the past.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't be surprised if she came out and just said, you know what? I'm here to win. And
Here's
I'm
what I
go
got.
for the double crippler.
Yep,
yeah.
100%.
And then build upon that, and maybe we can see the double 1080 later on.
Yeah, because yesterday, you know, I feel like in Maddie's head, she was thinking, I want to be the 1 seed. There's a huge advantage coming into quarterfinals as the 1 seed, whereas today, you can pump the brakes a little bit. You can take it run by run, and all you have to do is win it heat by heat.
So that's her warm-up for the double crippler and some of those bigger rotations.
All right, so Maddie Mastro, the 1 seed, dropping in. She's got Doja Cat ripping through her headphones. Let's see where she goes with hit number 1. So sticking with a crippler into a backside 540. Into the front side 540. You know what? I think she's taking it a little easy. She's going to put down a good score, try to win this heat, keep the bag of tricks deep in her pocket. She can reach into it throughout the day and pull out whatever she wants.
Oh, and she's holding on to that last trick. And when you say easy, her easy is a lot of other athletes' very difficult run. So still such a great run from Maddie Mastro to start out here.
I'm really interested to see the score, right? Because looking at the scoreboard, Senna Tomita put down an 80.25. That was a really clean run from Maddie Mastro. And not that scores necessarily matter between Heat 1 and Heat 4, but looking at where the judges are putting that range, we're going to get a really good idea of that when we see Maddie's score come in.
Yeah, and she just elected to do a single flip on her crippler to start out with.
Yeah, that was 3rd gear for Maddie Mastro.
Yeah.
Almost every single trick in her run, she can do double. Here is that hawk and flip. Switch frontside inverted 720. Gets a good hold of that grab, spots her landing, and puts the gear down.
And watch this power in her legs as she holds on to that.
Maddie Mastro as well, but that top
So scores coming in.
having the advantage against the 8 seed, Elizabeth Hosking. We'll explain more on the seeding on how
And
that
it
works.
will be Maddie Mastro who takes that first run in the 4th matchup here in the women's quarterfinals. We will be back with run number 2 here at the quarterfinals. Take a quick break. Join us for more Snow League. And we will go back to the top for our 4th matchup here in the women's quarterfinals. And we are going to start with American Maddie Mastro. And you can see her there talking to her coach, Danny Cass.
So Maddie Mastro, 25 years old, one of the strongest halfpipe athletes on planet Earth.
Yeah, and you can see her visualizing, going through her run, even verbalizing, you know, the moves that she needs to do, the rotations, where she puts her shoulders. So Maddie Mastro sitting on that score of a 78.50. She basically won that first run, and now she just wants to lock it up and win this second run.
Yeah, she's got to drop in from the right wall. First run, she dropped in on the left. I'm excited to see a little bit newer of a run from Maddie. Usually she drops in on the left wall. You see her there visualizing it, kind of going through the run in her head. She always takes a little bit of a moment, an extra moment, to kind of appreciate it, get her head wrapped around it, and then she'll drop.
And this is something new that we don't really see Maddie drop in much on this other wall.
All right, so taking a lot of pop into that first hit, backside 900. Maddie Mastro laces it into the crippler. This is why she came into today as the top-seeded female athlete, backside 540 into a frontside 720. And there is the hawk and flip. She stomps it and then sneaks in a frontside 5, grabbing stalefish. Seems to be something in the bottom of the pipe right there. Not quite sure what it is.
Well, either way, she put together a phenomenal run.
I thought it was the drone.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Avoiding.
Guys, that's scary.
Avoiding whatever that was at the bottom of the pipe there. But what a start for Maddie Mastro, dropping in on that opposite wall. Connor, can you explain to us what happened?
Oh my god.
I think there's a random helmet that was in the bottom of the pipe that Maddie came down from her classic trick, that front 5 stale sky hook, and was able to ollie over the helmet. She said she thought it was the drone as she got down. So she was really scared that it was the drone, but it was a helmet, and luckily Maddie's okay and put it to her feet.
Talk about being reactive.
Yeah.
No kidding. You never know what's coming your way here at Snow League.
But the highlight here, want to point out, so we normally see her drop in on that other wall. And so for her to drop in and do this backside 9 out of the gate is huge, T-Bird.
Yeah, and that's a very consequential trick, and the judges are rewarding the more difficult tricks, the higher up you throw them in the pipe. I believe you will get rewarded for that, because if you fall on that, your run is pretty much done. There's that hawk and flip, landed low on that wall. And here is that final hit, frontside 540, grabbing stalefish. And then let's see, oh, little helmet ollie, there it is.
Ollie. Extra point.
Talk about having your wits about you.
Yes, Maddie.
That was a great ollie.
See from Maddie Mastro ollieing the helmet.
So now
That's like
Maddie
a Mario
Mastro is
Kart.
in a
That was,
very
place
good
there.
position to take this heat. Elizabeth Hosking has to dig very deep as she is at the top, ready to take her second run in this 4th quarterfinal matchup.
Yeah, will the underdog force a tiebreaker against the #1 seed, Maddie Mastro? The ball is in Elizabeth Hosking's court right now. She gives a couple extra ratchet straps down on her bindings. And here she goes. Elizabeth Hosking coming out of Canada, coming into her first hit. Let's see what she's got. Big old frontside 540. Into the backside 540. She's holding really good speed. There's the frontside 720. And there is the chicane. And she goes frontside 900, and you can hear the condition of that wall. that looker's left wall has not warmed up yet. That thing is still very, very icy, in contrast to the looker's right wall, which is starting to get slushy and a little bit sun-baked.
Yeah, and we still need to wait for scores, but basically what that means is Maddie will take that second run. We'll wait for the official word once those scores are released.
Like you landed and
I landed and like I was like looking down and then I looked to my left and there was a helmet like right there and I was like, oh my God, oh my God.
It'll be fun to go back and watch the broadcast.
All right, so let's break down Elizabeth Hosking's second run. She started off going huge with that frontside 540 right there. And then she comboed that with a backside 5 on her second hit. And at some point we will see the replay of kind of what went wrong here. This is that attempt at a frontside 900. She's grabbing Melon, that's her lead hand, on her heel edge. And she just did not quite get the rotation all the way around. And look at the flex on that board as the snow catches that toe edge. Not enough amplitude there, and you can see she knew it.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, and all the pressure was put on Elizabeth Hosking. A great performance for her, but look at that. Maddie Mastro will take that fourth matchup here in the quarterfinals. So Maddie will be moving on, and she's standing by with Chris.
Maddie, congrats on a huge run. Let's talk about that surprise that came up on you at the end of your run.
Yeah, I was kind of looking down after my last hit and then I looked over and I thought they had just landed the drone in the middle of a half pipe and I was like, shit, oh shoot, I better jump over this right now, and luckily I cleared it and it was actually a helmet. So either way, I was a little confused of why it was there.
Well, lightning fast reactions. Now, gotta ask, new format. Do you have strategy going into this thing?
No. I'm kind of just freestyling it, to be honest. Yeah, no.
Congrats on moving on to the next round.